Name 2 or 3 friends you made at IoBM and you're still in touch with them in some way.
My dear husband, Salman, number 1.
Yes.
Of course. Namra, she's still a very, very close friend of mine, and definitely, alhamdulillah, वो CBM की जो मेरी पक्की दोस्त होती है ना, उनमें से एक है.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to yet another interesting episode of Celebrating Sweet Success here at the Institute of Business Management. I'm your host Sarah Mashhood, Chief Operating Officer, Corp. And today in the studios, we are stepping into the world of art, tradition and culture. Our guest today is someone who's mastered the art of blending tradition with modern flair. She's the force behind some of Manto's most iconic pieces. Her designs are more than just fashion. They are an artistic expression of stories that resonate deeply with our heritage. From the captivating green chunri chadar inspired by John Elias' poetic legacy, to Iqbal's Jugnu kurta, to the soulful Kalb court set, her work reflects both cultural pride and a fresh perspective. We present to you Bismah Salman. Assalamu alaikum Bismah, it's wonderful to have you. How do you feel coming back to IoBM today?
Walaikum assalam. It feels great, to be honest. Also a bit emotional because I came back here after graduating now. So it's been 9 years. So a long time, but alhamdulillah, I also feel good that I got an opportunity to come back and do this with you. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bismah, you've been creating some incredible pieces that really speak to our culture. But let's rewind a little. What kind of memories did you have here at IoBM? If you remember any incidents from back in time.
So incidents, memories तो बहुत सारी हैं, to be very honest. लेकिन एक memory जो थोड़े दिन पहले, one of my friend shared a video of it, which was the recording day of Lived Up 2011. So वो बहुत interesting day था, and the energy was great at the university. It was like the whole university was involved in recording that video. So सबके अपने अपने characters थे. Somebody was mimicking a wedding. कोई Hulk बना हुआ था. I don't know why me and my friends, we were like Vampire Diaries.
Oh wow!
But you know, now watching that after so many years on YouTube, बहुत मजा आया देख के. अभी भी YouTube पे है वो.
It was pretty new, and we also kind of picked it up in the early stages.
Exactly.
So it was also fun to do the entire university, you know, hustling and bustling with.
बिल्कुल. उस ज़माने में वो बहुत trend था उस चीज़ का. So that is one of the very nice memories that I have from IoBM for sure.
Yeah, and you've also like headed the creative department in one of the IoBM societies.
Yes.
How was your experience then?
It was SHRS basically, and I applied in the creative department, and alhamdulillah, I eventually became the head of it. So I got an opportunity to look at the creative bit of things in terms of their promotional stuff and the artwork that was being made. तो मुझे बहुत मज़ा आता था. मैंने जो है बहुत अपनी creative skills को वहाँ पे explore भी किया है. So it was a great time for me.
Yeah, and were you also able to do a few events or इसमें अपना?
Yeah, so basically there was this conference that we used to have every year. 3 days conference होती थी Zenith के नाम से. So you know, it was a lot of fun. Attending that conference as a host, and then of course जो back-end की preparations की चीज़ें होती हैं, जो हम लोग displays बना रहे होते हैं, artwork बना रहे होते हैं, how we are involved in getting things done as a society जब हम function कर रहे होते हैं, तो वो बहुत मज़ा आ रहा होता है. तो it was great.
So if I had to ask you, if IoBM was able to play a role in shaping your, you know, personality and also for your career, so ये society ने जिस तरीके से आपको groom किया and kind of put you in a leadership position as in heading the creative department, so you were able to probably learn a lot as well.
I think, you know, I've spent 4 years in IoBM, and apart from the wonderful teachers that I had, apart from what I've learned over here in my courses, I think SHRS की वजह से I got to learn a lot. You know, I think it really helps to develop, you know, it did help to develop my foundation in terms of my interpersonal skills, in terms of my communication, in terms of networking. तो वो सारी चीज़ें I think later in life आपको at every point काम आती हैं.
Definitely, and socializing is so important. They say network is your net worth.
Definitely.
So, Bismah, you have this beautiful way of weaving culture into modern things and designs. What inspired you to start this journey, particularly in fashion with Manto?
So when I honestly when I look back and when I was starting off, it was not like कि मुझे fashion में ही करना है.
ठीक है.
I look at fashion in terms of art, to be very honest, and I loved art since I was a child. और मैं हमेशा उन बच्चों में से थी जो अपनी ही चीज़ें create करते रहता था. तो मैं हमेशा से जो है ना, even when I was a kid, I remember in my school I used to paint my kurtas with Urdu calligraphy and pair it, and I have gifted that to my friends, to my family at that point in time. So I kept on experimenting. So when I grew up, मुझे ये पता था कि later in life I have to do something which is sort of linked with arts, and alhamdulillah with Manto I'm able to do that. So when I am making any design, when I'm getting any design done in terms of ideation, मेरा focus उसको एक art piece के form में ही होता है, इसलिए my clothes stand out a lot. And कुछ मेरे pieces ऐसे हैं जब आप उनको देखेंगे तो आपको लगेगा it's like a painting. And the best part is कि a lot of our customers, what they do is they get our print, and then they frame it like a painting, and then they hang it on their wall. So that
Such
means
a cool thing.
Yeah, that means a lot to us, because जब हम बना रहे होते हैं उस चीज़ को तो हम उसमें focus ही ये रखते हैं कि यार it should look like a painting, it should look very attractive, and then customers also looking at it like that, looking at as a form of art while purchasing it and getting that value out of it, it definitely means a lot.
Of course. And Bismah, your designs have such deep meaning. How do you decide which cultural elements to go with or incorporate into your work?
Culture has definitely played an important role. I think us Pakistanis, हम लोग का culture बहुत ज़्यादा strong है, and दुनिया ने अभी सही से देखा नहीं है. So I'm glad that through Manto we are able to tap that and be all around the world as a very proud Pakistani brand. और इसमें कुछ prints में हमारा इतना strong cultural references है, जैसे for example there's this collection that we did by the name of Virsa, and उसके अंदर हमने सारे national elements of Pakistan को incorporate किया था. So while deciding, उसमें हम देख रहे थे कि चलो national animal है मारखोर, national fruit है आम, ठीक है, फिर नेशनल पोएट है लामा इकबाल, तो पोइट्री उनकी आ गई. तो इस तरीके से व्हेन वी मेड अ लिस्ट ऑफ एलिमेंट्स, तो उसमें नेशनल फूड हम स्किप नहीं कर सकते थे, जिसमें बिरयानी था और आई थिंक हलीम भी है, ठीक है. लेकिन हाउ डू यू इनकॉर्पोरेट दैट इन योर वर्क, बिकॉज जब आप कपड़े पहन रहे होंगे, so personally I would not like wearing biryani made on my clothes or halim. So what we did was कि हमने उसको sketch down किया, paint किया, और उसके बाद उसको इस तरीके से incorporate किया, blend किया in terms of design कि nobody can tell कि उसमें दूर से आप देखेंगे आपको समझ नहीं आएगा, it would look like a beautiful Pakistani print, ठीक है. But when you look closer, you will understand कि उसमें किस तरीके से सारे national elements का इस्तेमाल किया गया है to make that print. So it adds a lot of value. It's very Pakistani.
Nice. And tell us a little bit about your about the start of Manto. Like how did it all start?
So Manto started, alhamdulillah, 5 years back, and at that time my husband Salman Parik, he saw the gap in the market. It started off with just basic kurta pajamas. उस वक्त औरतों के लिए मर्दाना कुर्ता पजामा अगर आपको पहनना हो, so you had to get it from the men's section, वरना औरतों के लिए नहीं था. Nobody was actually using wash and wear for women wear. So wash and wear I feel इतना अच्छा कपड़ा है और बहुत comfortable है. So at that time we started off with just solid लखनऊ, शेरवानी, पेशावरी collar, कुर्ता pajamas, just basic solid sets.
ठीक है.
And उसके बाद alhamdulillah the response was great. The orders started coming in, the business started growing, and बहुत request आती थी कि आप कोई scarf, ओढ़नी, दुपट्टा, anything that we can pair our outfit with. So that is where I became a part of Manto, and I started designing and making, we started off with just having a collection for ओढ़नीस. और उस वक्त ओढ़नियों का इतना fashion था नहीं कि दुपट्टा on its own as a statement piece was not a thing, So alhamdulillah we started off with that. फिर silk scarves, फिर the categories kept on increasing, and it's अब तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें आ गई हैं.
Yes, and we love that many of your pieces have Urdu calligraphy.
Yes.
तो उसका मतलब what is the message that you're trying to convey here? Is it more to do with celebrating the beauty of the language, or are you trying to create a much deeper connection there?
So I personally think that हमारी जो ज़बान है उर्दू, उसकी जो लिखाई है वो इतनी खूबसूरत है. I, as a child, has grown up looking and loving Persian art, Islamic art. उसकी intricacy मुझे इतनी हसीन लगती थी, and we are blessed कि हमारी language sort of लिखी उसी तरीके से जाती है.
ऐसे ही है.
So I have always viewed it like that only.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned कि जब मैं छोटी थी, even as a school going girl, मैं उर्दू कैलीग्राफी कर करके अपने कुर्तों पे पहना करती थी, तो वो मुझे on its own इतना खूबसूरत लगता है. It started off with that passion only, and this Urdu thing was one of the designs that I made amongst the many that I've made.
Yeah.
But somehow this became like an instant hit because I think nobody else was doing it.
Yeah.
And it felt so great to see that other people also viewed it like that कि उनको भी वो इतनी ही हसीन लग रही थी जितनी मुझे लगती थी. जब शुरू किया था तो मुझे हो रहा था पता नहीं कोई पहनेगा नहीं पहनेगा, पता नहीं कैसा रिस्पॉन्स होगा. You know, there were people जो कहते थे कि हम text based कपड़े नहीं पहनते, and now that I look at them wearing my clothes like anything, they're like, you have changed us, you know, we love it. It is the fashion statement now. So looking at your language being loved like that and being used like that, it's great. You know,
let's talk about balancing work and family life. You design with such attention to detail, and I'm sure the depth is also very time consuming. How do you manage to balance work and family life? Is there a routine or habit that you follow? Spill all the secrets.
Balance चाहिए है नहीं. Especially as a mother, I can you as a mother, you can relate to it.
Of course.
No matter what we do, the mother's guilt doesn't go away.
True.
So balance I want with, alhamdulillah, with how we are scaling up so fast every year. The balance keep on getting worse, to be very honest. But now I'm really trying to restructure my work, and I'm trying to build my team in a way where I can take out some time and sort of create that balance, because I think जब आप mentally थोड़े से सुकून में भी होते हैं, and when you actually have a balance in life, you create the right pieces and you create the art which is actually valuable then.
True, I think that's very true. Bismah, your work is clearly fueled by passion. So how does your family influence your creative process? Do they, like, you know, play a role in getting inspiration to you in your designs, or do they help you manage everything you've got on your plate?
Alhamdulillah, wherever I am right now, I think it is because of my family. वरना मैं नहीं कर सकती थी. To be very honest.
So you have a good support system.
A very good support system, mashallah. Say, my husband, you know, he has been my pillar. He keeps on pushing me to learn new things. Actually, he was the one who insisted that I go and learn digital art. वरना मैं बहुत reluctant थी. I'm more of that sort of an artist जिसको हाथ से पेंट और ब्लेंड करने का बहुत शौक है. तो जब डिजिटल आर्ट की बात आई तो मैंने सोचा यार it might not be my cup of tea, इतनी सारी कीज़ याद रखना और वो सब करना, but you know, because he really believed in it, मैं गई, मैंने एक कोर्स किया, I just understood the basic of it कि यार क्या है, लेकिन अगर वो मैं नहीं करती तो मैं आज यहाँ नहीं पहुँची हुई होती. But apart from my husband, my family definitely, my parents, my siblings, my in-laws, all of them, alhamdulillah, I'm blessed with such a support system कि चाहे मेरे शुरू के डेज़ हों, I remember कि मैं वो हर चीज़ प्रिंट करवा के ना उनको दिखा रही होती थी. I used to get their feedback and I still do it. अभी अगर मैं नहीं करती ना, मैं घर नहीं लेके आती तो मेरी सास कहती है अब तुम मुझे नहीं दिखाती. ऐसा नहीं है. We have scaled up so much कि मैं हर चीज़ अब घर लेके आ नहीं सकती. लेकिन उनका फीडबैक, उनका सपोर्ट बहुत मैटर करता है. उसके बगैर I think for any woman being married and with kids, it's very difficult to pursue her career like that.
Yeah, and Bismah, fashion for you seems like it's not just about clothing. It's more to do with storytelling. It's important for you that each piece is telling a story, right? So would you describe your work as a mix of art, culture and fashion there?
Definitely.
And a source of storytelling?
Definitely. अब बहुत थोड़ी funny भी बात है लेकिन अच्छी भी है. So you know, in my team, how I work, how I look at things, I want my team, amazing creative designer team, I want them to also look at it like that. So I keep on telling them, you know, bring in exciting ideas, bring in new stories. You know, that is what will help us to stay unique, right? So एक बचपन की कहानी है टर्टल और रैबिट की, आपने सुनी होगी, ठीक है, वो रेस वाली स्टोरी. तो शी टोल्ड मी कि बिस्मा, how about we make a design on this? I was like, okay, let's see how we do it. And इतने मज़े का हमने कुर्ता बनाया और उस पर जो पोइट्री लिखी वो उसी से रेलिवेंट लिखी, क्योंकि वो जो कुर्ता है इट इज़ नॉट किडिश. ओके, ये कहानी हमने बचपन में सुनी है, बट व्हेन यू लुक एट दैट कुर्ता तो वो आपको कहीं से भी किडिश नहीं लगेगा, बट आर्टसी लगेगा, बिकॉज वी हैव इलस्ट्रेटेड इट इन अ वे कि इट इज़ टेलिंग दैट स्टोरी एंड टेक्स यू बैक इन टाइम. ऑन द अदर हैंड, व्हेन यू एक्चुअली फोकस कि यार यहाँ पे क्या एलिमेंट्स हैं, दैट इज़ व्हेन यू रियलाइज कि ओ अच्छा, ये तो वो स्टोरी है जो हम बचपन में सुनते थे. So I look at it like that.
That is so creatively wonderful. I mean, I can only imagine right now, but I'm sure you must have done amazing. Acha, Bismah, the creative industry can be full of challenges, especially you know, when you're trying to break norms and introduce new concepts. So what are some of the challenges that you may have faced bringing these artistic visions to life?
I think एक challenge से तो काफ़ी लोग वाकिफ़ भी हैं. एक इंसिडेंट हुआ था, सो इस तरह के आई थिंक चैलेंजेस आते ही रहते हैं, एंड इट्स फाइन. When you're doing something which is different, when you're doing something that nobody has done before, and even if you're doing something that others are doing, challenges are part of the game. So वो तो आते ही रहते हैं. बल्कि लाहौर इंसिडेंट के बाद ये ज़रूर हुआ था कि even though that was not Manto's dress, but we felt, because with Manto we have sort of made a community, and our customers are like our support system. And अल्लाह ना करे if something goes wrong online, कोई हमारे बारे में कुछ भी लिखता है, so they are there as our support system. No, Manto is great, right? So if they can do that for us, so if they are feeling like that, if they're feeling scared, then we felt that it's very important for us to voice and let them know that we are right and it's fine, don't wear it. So I think Salman really handled the situation well. And even though वो Manto नहीं था, but क्योंकि उस पर अरबी लिखी हुई थी और Manto में हम उर्दू लिखते हैं, तो वो sort of connection ना चाहते हुए भी develop हो रहा था. तो फिर हमने अपने social media platforms के through customers को बोला कि please, if you don't feel safe, don't wear it. And we did mean it. We did mean it. The last thing that we want is anybody feeling unsafe and anybody going through certain things because of us. That's the last thing that we want.
Quite a learning, right?
Yeah.
Every new thing like that or any challenge kind of teaches you so much.
It does teach us so much. मैंने एक जगह पढ़ा था कि and that, क्योंकि शुरू में देखें, जब जो भी मैं कर रही हूँ या जो भी जो सलमान कर रहे हैं, we are doing it for the first time, right? So we are actually carving our way. And doing so, हम लोग को बहुत सारी self learning करनी होती है. So challenges every other day आ रहे होते हैं, एक दिन में कई आ रहे होते हैं. तो I read this somewhere जहाँ पे लिखा था कि if you look at challenges as stepping stones instead of roadblocks, and that would really change your game.
Perspective, of course.
और वो उस perspective ने मुझे बहुत help किया है.
Very nice. All right, Bismah, so on a personal note, how do you stay inspired? Are there any specific poets, artists, or any experiences that kind of inspire your designs?
It's not like कि कोई एक है जो मुझे बहुत influence करेगा. मैं growing up, I was highly inspired by Sabyasachi Mukherjee. I'm a big fan. Matlab, he's someone that I would love to meet one day. Matlab, the kind of work he's doing, it's great. Lekin from where I draw my inspiration, it's very different. And ऐसा है कि I might, it might be a painting, or it might be me traveling and finding inspiration in a museum, or even on the roads, or even in a mall. I'm looking at a group of people wearing certain clothes, और उनके जो कपड़े हैं उनको देख के आपस में मुझे कुछ आ जाए mind में, and I sketch it down and I write it down कि यार ये idea है, this is the layout.
Always at work. Always at work.
Instant mind mapping हो जाती है. बल्कि मैं ये सोचती थी कि I wish how I look at things around me. I wish I can like take a picture of what I see
I see it.
You know, instead of me going back and sketching it down and writing it down. But अब alhamdulillah वो वाली glasses भी आ गई है, which I have my eyes on कि मैं वो ले लूँ, क्योंकि I think I need that in my life.
Bismah, we are sure many young creators look up to you. What is that one advice that you'd like to give to them?
The advice is that please be unique, and you can only be unique if you focus on your individuality. And अगर आप उस चीज़ को बाहर निकाल देंगे equation से, then you will be just like anybody else, and nobody likes mediocrity, right? So be unique.
In conversation with Bismah Salman, the creative genius behind Manto. And now we're gonna head on to the games segment. Bismah, are you ready?
Okay.
Alright, so my first word is tradition.
Art.
What about poetry?
Beautiful.
How about fashion?
Confidence.
And Pakistan?
My homeland, love.
Next is IoBM.
Close to my heart.
What about creativity?
Essential.
Social media?
Addictive.
And last but definitely not the least, Urdu.
Beautiful language. The most beautiful language.
Alright, thank you Bismah, thank you so much. We're gonna move on to rapid fire round now. So quick questions and quick answers. Let's have some fun. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay then, let's fire away. My first question is, who is your favorite poet?
There are many, but I really enjoy Allama Iqbal's poetry. In terms of वो उनकी उर्दू बहुत easy है, और वो in terms of illustrations और art के context में बहुत अच्छी मेरे design में fit in हो जाती है.
If you could collaborate with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Rahul Mishra.
What's one important lesson you'd want to teach a 5-year-old about life?
You know, my daughter is 4.5-year-old, and I keep on telling her, be yourself.
Name 2 or 3 friends you made at IoBM and you're still in touch with them in some way.
My dear husband, Salman, number 1.
Yes.
Of course. Namra, she's still a very, very close friend of mine, and definitely, alhamdulillah, वो CBM की जो मेरी पक्की दोस्त होती है ना, उनमें से एक है. जाकिर है, फरियाल was a school friend, Sara है, a lot of them.
Nice. Favorite color to work with?
This I can't take one specific color, but I'm usually more inclined towards the darker shades.
Nice.
Yeah, so I can say that I don't think I can pick one color.
What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
It came to me when I was at a very low phase in my life, and it was that it's never too late to be what you could have been.
If you weren't a designer, who would you be?
Anything related to art. So, artist to मैं रहती.
What's your favorite way to unwind after a really long day?
A head massage.
Your go-to source for inspiration?
Inspiration is all around me. I don't need to go to a specific source to be very honest.
Yes.
But as I mentioned earlier as well, it's all around me. So I draw inspiration from my surroundings, from what I see, from what I learn, everything.
Thank you, Bismah. That was fantastic, very quick and very cool. One last question before we close with thank yous and byes. Any advice that you'd like to give to IoBM students who are currently studying or are stepping into their careers just about now?
Persistence is the key. So no matter what you do in life, make sure that you keep on working hard. Challenges आएंगे, but that's part of the parcel. लेकिन yeah, persistence is the key. So best of luck.
Thank you, Bismah, so much for sharing your incredible journey and passion with us. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And we wish and we hope that wherever you go, you make us proud and that you keep coming back.
Inshallah. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. That was Bismah Salman. If you'd like to see someone else on this show celebrating sweet success, please drop us an email. A big thank you to Bismah Salman, our sponsors Cadbury Dairy Milk and Dreamworld Resorts. Also, not to forget my beautiful, most amazing IoBM media team that kind of make this show worthwhile. This is Sarah Mashhood signing out. Take care. Allah Hafiz.